Good morning, everyone. This video is being made on November 3rd, 2014. You'll understand why I'm making this video in a momento. Hold on. Alright, now I'm showing you the sign that's going to be placed in front of this tent once it's locked up. Okay, these little black things you see, it's electrical tapes. Anyways, alright, so check it out. This is the sign here. It says, "Do not remove this property. The person who owns it is moving." Okay? The property from here every day. All property will be completely gone by 11/15/14. It might not actually be until 11/20, and I'll tell you why the date has changed in a second. I'll more than likely be gone by the 15th, but there's a small chance that I might not be able to get every single last thing out of here by then. And hold on, I gotta set this down for a second. Alright, I locked it up too, as you can see. Now, this video is I'll probably make another video after this one, but just in case I don't, this is in reference to, I'm pulling the tarp in front of it now. Now, this is in reference to the hiking area I was brutally assaulted at on July 9th, 2014. Right at this very spot that I'm standing at right now is where I was brutally assaulted at. Go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again." And when you do, you're going to see some videos come up. And what you want to do is you want to click on the video that came up on, that's dated 07/09/14, another another brutal assault, learning disabled woman, or I think it's learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again. Now bear with me for a minute, okay, because I'm catching my breath. I just got done doing a lot of work. The point being is this: when you go to YouTube and type in 07/09/14, learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again, you're literally going to see a video. I think it's anywhere between 8 minutes and 10 minutes long. Okay, and what you're gonna view is one man approaching my area, and then me taking a video picture of another man that was with him. Okay, they were connected, being down over up in here. Now let me just go ahead and illustrate to you what's going on here real fast, and I guess you'll understand it as I continue to talk, because I'm actually going to continue to state what I was already stating. I had a subplot, so just bear with me for a second, okay? Alright, so check this out. It was in early January or late December 2013. They had an individual do the same exact thing that an individual did on July 9th, and here's the explanation. That individual, in either late December 2013 or early January 2014, he walked up in here. See, there's a little itty bitty creek right here. It's actually nothing but a sewer drainage, okay? And I do believe this is state property. I'll make a statement about that in a minute. Now, basically what he did was, and you can see that I'm on this side of the little creek, and then there's like a cliff. Now, over towards that way, it starts to level out to where you can walk on it. About 70 feet from there is an area where they literally intentionally, with complete malice of forethought and criminal intent, placed and propped up some individuals to hike out there within a week and a half of me moving here. Now, when I first moved here, I was actually hiking over there on this side of the creek. But then I left the area to go to Yucca Valley for a week, and when I was gone, it rained heavily here in San Diego. So when I came back, I immediately had noticed that the water that came up here, through here from the rain, because it's like a slope, the water drains and then pushes forward that way into the creek, it had swept away every single thing that was left, okay? Not my tent or nothing, because I took my tent down and then took a spare one with me to Yucca Valley. But the point being is that I seen that all the major tree barks and everything that had already been on the ground, and everything else, like all the leaves, all the branches and everything, had been completely swept away from the water. Now, as I was noticing that, I also noticed at the same exact time that somebody had propped up a huge, big, gigantic canopy and a tent. Now, as I was preparing to leave to go to Yucca Valley for a week, an individual was seen by me as I was hiking there. okay? He was seen by me with a rake, raking off the area they were going to prop up. But since they hadn't put up a tent yet, I didn't know that they were actually going to be staying there. I thought it was a neighbor who was just down here doing like community work for the property, okay? So, but I did make a statement in a typical order that he said gang stalking as that was occurring. Hold on a second. Now this was noticed by me hearing him say it because he was literally only about, I'd say, 30 feet away. So when I came back from Yucca Valley and discovered that the entire area had been swept away, I knew that the very next time it rained, I would get swept away. So I moved over here. But understand, the day I came back and noticed this, what they had done was, what they had did while I was gone for that 1 week is they cleaned the area out and then propped up a bunch of homeless skanks. So originally they were going to actually harass me only 30 feet away. So between seeing that some individuals had propped up a tent and a canopy, and knowing that I heard him say gang stalk, okay, before I left the Yucca Valley, I thought it was just a neighbor down here cleaning up everything, and then that he was being used for the gang stalking, because neighbors can be used in gang stalking. So the point being is that when I came back, noticed they had set up an area over there, and then noticed how the water had brushed everything away, that telling me that if I continued to stay there once it rained, I could get swept away, or my property. So I moved over here. Now let me just stop my explanation for a second. You can see that my area is completely clean, okay? It is. I take my garbage with me every day, as long as there's garbage to be taken with me. And the only reason why this stuff is here is because I am now preparing to move. The point, they're loose ends that haven't been taken care of yet. Now, let me go ahead, and I'm going to have to start talking faster because my battery light is flashing. So if this video stops when I'm in the middle of talking, that's what happened. In early January or late December, they had an individual walk from that area. He walked all the way up here on the cliffs. You wouldn't believe what he went through to walk. And then, I don't know what's past this way once the bushes start, I can't see, but he managed to get up over in there and then get on this side. And then he hid for about 45 minutes. I think he was probably on something. Then he came into sight and started to walk up towards this way, but I had already taken protective measures, and it spooked him. I basically just stood there and said, look, you're not coming back down up in here. Okay, and it scared him, and I could tell he was probably on something. Now this occurred when the wild animals were still up in here camping. The ones who were yelling gang stalk, oh my God, gang stalk crazy, gang stalk weird, repetitively at some days, they were doing it all day long, non-stop, along with things like suck my you-know-what and other things. Now, that's one of the methodologies they're using to intentionally, mentally remind me that I'm being gang stalked. It's mental harassment, is what it is. Now, let's take a look at this. So, that occurred in either late December 2013 or early January 2014. Now, I'm not going to say what it was about. It's nothing negative on my end at all, period. But I don't think it's best that I talk about it right now, because I don't know exactly what the police did concerning that. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you. I went to another area one day in order to do one thing. I'm not going to state what it is because then it will expose too much information. Nothing illegal, absolutely nothing illegal. I went there and I had lunch. And then I decided to go for a walk. I went for a walk. It was in a park. And I stumbled on a skeleton from an individual who looked like he had died from natural causes, who was camping. So I called police, because I didn't want a kid to stumble across this. So when the police came, I told them where I lived after they kept repetitively asking me. Okay? So the point being, after I broke down and told them where I live, okay, I told them about these little filthy whores harassing me day and night and day and night, every day. They didn't give a shit. They didn't give two shits at all. Nope, they didn't even come here to investigate it because they didn't care. The point being is this. So, that individual did that. The San Diego police were already aware, at least by January 26, 2014, that I was staying here. Now, on July 6, 2014, I literally stood right there in front of my tent and made a video prediction. And that video prediction is online as well, and I'll tell you how to get to it in a second. So I'm standing right there at that spot, and I say, let's see if anything happens here while I'm still living here, because I was preparing to move. But just listen. I said, okay. I go, let's see if anything happens concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, or against me here, including assaults. 2.5 days later, 2 men come up in here, and one of them brutally assaulted me at the very spot I made the video at. And towards the video was already running. I started a video recording once I spotted them and once they approached here. So the video caught a part of the assault, but the tape recorder caught the entire thing. Okay. Now the video, I'm sorry, in reference to the audio file, it proves the assault took place 2.5 days later from the prediction that was made on July 6th. Now when you go to YouTube and type in 070914, learning disabled woman brutally assaulted again, look in the description of that YouTube video. Because the video prediction YouTube title, the video I made predicting the assault 2.5 days before on July 6th, that was uploaded the day it was made. Now when I called the cops and they came down here, they kept asking me for the memory card that the video assault was on. Now I'm an STPD whistleblower, so I don't trust them in anything anymore about anything. So I wasn't about to give them any evidence, because understand, the video I'm making right now, once I get done stop recording, it's going to have a time and stamp date on it. Okay? Now, I still got that video file of me being assaulted. Now, that video files show that I was assaulted on July 9, 2014, 2.5 days after I predicted I'd be assaulted, and then where the assault took place at was this very spot that I predicted it at. Now that's the 4th assault that's been predicted. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Look at everything in the description of that YouTube video, because there's some blog links that have been copied and pasted in the description of that YouTube video, and all you gotta do is click on them. The second blog, the one that's towards the tail end of the description of that YouTube video, click on it, and then once it comes up, it'll open up. Scroll down to the bottom and you'll see a small little attached PDF link titled Assault 11. Click on that. And then you will see, once you click on it, you will see a printed and scanned email that was made 11 days before the assault occurred, literally showing me predicting not only that I'd be assaulted, but also the place I'd be assaulted at. Public transportation, MTS bus. In that same PDF link, you will see documentation from MTS acknowledging the assault took place on the 10th of October. Now, so that's 2 assaults. The 3rd assault took place towards me on a sidewalk right across the street on January 30th, 2014 by an individual who was seen by me hanging out with one of the assholes here. Okay? That assault was predicted 8.5 hours before it occurred in an audio file. So, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can tell you is that you'd have to be a complete dumbass, literally, and I'm not calling you a dumbass, I'm just saying that in general. You'd have to be a complete dumbass to honestly sit back and say that, well, this is just coincidence. Bullshit. In fact, let me just tell you how much this is not coincidence. Go to Google and YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes how MTS assault video is altered. When you look at that video of me being assaulted, why is the back door on the wrong side of the bus periodically throughout the video? Why is the rail that holds the mirror on the wrong side of the bus when the back door is on the wrong side of the bus? And why is the mirror backwards? And here's the big one. Why is me, an individual who assaulted me, sitting on the opposite side of the bus in the video in reference to where we were actually sitting at the day of the assault? That right there, and then the San Diego Police Department filed a falsified police report concerning that assault. So, when we look at these factual realities, we can come to conclude that the conspiracy to commit a felonious assault took place, conspiracy to falsify a police report, obstruction of justice concerning the San Diego DA in reference to them not investigating when they were told by me verbally through email and through website, and the San Diego Police Department was also emailed about it, contacted through their website, and told about it physically by me in their physical presence. They have not done a damn thing about it and do not care, because they're animals, and these are the things that animals do. It was a staged assault because of the whistleblowing that I whistleblow concerning them and their little filthy whore-ass rats. And I'm not talking about all the San Diego police. I highly doubt that, since I think there's like 3,000 police officers in San Diego, I highly doubt that every single last one of them is involved in organized crime. So, in reference to the good ones, I respect you. I really do. But the corrupt ones and the syndicated ones, yeah, I got balls you can lick. Alright, I gotta get. Now, I am a Christian woman, but if you knew the things that have happened to me. In fact, let me just explain to you what the asshole tried to do to me across the street. He took a bike helmet and went, and he took it. It was in his hand, and he went full force. You know how like when you go bowling, and you take the ball and you go all the way, like say if you're bowling right now and you go all the way back with the ball and then you let it go. He went full force like this, boom, and tried to hit me right in the face with a bike helmet. If I hadn't put up my hand really fast with my bike glove on, it would have hit me right in the face. That's right. And the reason why I use the bike helmet, because they know that this area is heavily populated with bicyclists who wear helmets. See, in gang stalking, they want something to be anchored to a traumatic event, something that you will see every day so you remember the event. And if you don't believe me, go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman catches flat out catches gang stalking" or whatever, and you'll be able to hear the Thanksgiving event that occurred towards me, where two men are saying gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang of stalking, I'll F you up. He actually said fuck you up. Okay? Now, why would he say gang of stalking, I'm gonna fuck you up? Because they wanted that fear that was generated from the threat and from the mental harassment to be associated to gang stalking while it's occurring. See, because that's what gang stalking expeditions do. They anchor things in your mind, fear. Like I was making videos every day throughout the entire year 2013. I was actually making two. One dedicated to proving my properties here, and the other video was made concerning the things I was putting up with here. I literally said throughout the entire year 2013 that they were propping people up on the sidewalk to ride their bikes by, walk by, or jog by and say, gang stalk, why don't you come and steal our stuff? And gang stalk, why don't you call the cops on her? I was basically making a video every day, and they're already online. All you gotta do is go to YouTube and type in "learning disabled woman makes hiking area predictions," "learning disabled woman exposes methods of gang stalking." Okay? Now think about this. I made a video about that every day, and in some of those videos I literally stated that they propped up two different students on two different dates to walk by me at UCSD Price Center and say the same exact thing. Now those videos are online already. Then I caught the Thanksgiving event occurring towards me, right across the street, right up the street, on November 28th. And as they're harassing me and threatening me, they're saying gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang of stalking, I'm gonna F you up. Now that's a threat as they're saying gang stalking. That shows I was telling the truth every single day pertaining to what I was putting up with, not only by the assholes they were propping up on the sidewalk to say it, but I was also stating in those videos that the individuals over here were yelling it from a distance. Now, gang stalking, oh my God, has also been caught repetitively being said around me all over UCSD campus, all over SDSU campus, and along all my routes. Because it's their way to intentionally, with complete malice aforethought and criminal intent, to make sure that I'm constantly mentally reminded that I'm a gang stalking victim. It's mental harassment. And it's also produces fear because of some of the types of people they use. Now, when you look at how perfect strangers know where you are, you see, you gotta understand something. Women are already protected pertaining to, you know, anything harming them, because we know how we can be harmed. And you can go to Google and type in gang stalking and rape. Now, the point being is they make you homeless and then create all this bullshit towards you. And the assault on the 9th was more than likely an event, because do you really think that the police don't know why they're called? So let's take a look at this. In order to get illegal syndicated probate control of a person so their finances can be illegally probately taken over by the organized crime syndicate that owns group homes, see, that's one of the reasons why the homelessness is created. And after they create the homelessness, they gang stalk the target along all their routes, stage events periodically. That's done to psychologically bait the target to call the police. Then the syndicated cops, since they know the target's calling the police because their phone's hacked, which it is, Google cell phone hacking and gang stalking, the syndicated cop will answer the call. He'll come out, he'll bait the target to open up about what's happening. He'll act like he don't know what gang stalking is in order to bait the target to talk about it. And then when he walks away, he'll file a falsified incident report or police report pertaining to the target's mental stability. Because it's all these falsified incident reports and police reports that happen over time is what is used in conjunction with other methodologies that they use in order to take the syndicated probate control. Now, once the target is illegally probately taken custody of and placed in a group home they own, the gang stalking continues. The target's provoked in these homes. They then blame the target for even creating the event, and then will petition the target in a county mental health or an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor by claiming they need to get on medication because they're out of control. And this is where the insurance fraud takes place at, and this is where the doctors are connected. Now, they will also human traffic the target in the house by drugging their food, wait until the drug takes effect, and then bringing men in and literally raping the target in their own bed and videotaping it as it's occurring so they can sell it to pornography groups. So we're looking at money off at least 3 angles. This is the reason why they create the homelessness to begin with. Go to Google and type in property owners and gang stalking, landlords and gang stalking, and even mail theft and mail delayment, postal workers and gang stalking, and that is literally how they created the homelessness of me. Okay? The point being is this. They brought a man down up in, two men, one of them assaulted me down up in here because they knew that that would psychologically motivate me to call the police. That way, that when the police come out, they can act like they don't know what's going on, okay? And then they walk away with a friggin' police report that's more than likely detrimental about me. The point being is this: in order to get the syndicated probate control, they got to be able to claim that the target's got a long history of mental illness, because they stage events over a matter of years. Okay, they keep the target homeless intentionally, create events along the target's route to even psychologically motivate the target to call the police, and they do this over time, like say a 2-3 year period. The point, and they're also making money off the people they're using to assault the target, because that person is being used by a middleman who's not even aware the police are involved in this shit. Okay, do you understand? The point being, because that's where the privately owned detention centers and prisons, okay, because every time an inmate is put in a privately owned prison or detention center, that privately owned place applies for federal funds per inmate. Do you understand? So the police can go out and arrest this guy that assaulted me, throw him in jail. That detention center gets the money per that inmate. When that money comes in, that gets kicked back to the participating partners that arrested him. They knew I would call the police, so they're also making money off that asshole. Okay? The point being is this: if they decided to do it with this one particular guy, because they know I know how they operate, and so they might not ever. The point being is this: go to Google and type in Pennsylvania judge gets sentenced to 28 years for pipelining first time misdemeanor children that got in trouble with the law to a privately owned detention center, and when the funds came in per child, the detention center kicked back a portion of the funds to the judge, and he got caught. It's a syndicate. It's operating at every level in the system, including county jails, county mental health, neighborhood hospital psychiatric floors, because they need the false diagnoses to get the syndicated probate control. Now, they also need the police reports for it as well. That's why they're staging the assaults. Like, in other words, they're bringing up men to assault me here. They're bringing up men to literally camp out to harass me here, to psychologically motivate me to call the police, so the police can say Miss Williams is homeless. She won't get out of it because she thinks she's being gang stalked. She's being assaulted in ravines she's sleeping in by men. Therefore, she's not making appropriate healthy decisions to take care of herself, even though these are the filthy whores that created the homelessness and are propping up the men to assault me. But these are the schemes of gang stalking. It's how it works. San Diego police, fuck you. And I'm talking about the ones who are involved in this shit. They know I'm being gang stalked. And you know what really cracks me up is when an incident occurs and these little filthy rats come to the scene, they act like they don't know me at all. That's right. They literally intentionally act like they don't know me at all because they're wearing tape recorders and they know I am as well. So as far as I'm concerned, you see that big finger right there, motherfuckers? Fuck you. Now, they'll even take this video and say Miss Williams has obviously got a hostility problem, which means she's probably got anger issues. So we better get her evaluated. Okay. You know what? Some of the mental illness labels that they attempt to put on targets. I'll literally name a few: bipolar, dementia, delusional disorders, schizophrenia, schizophrenia with persecutorial delusional ideations. I know all about psychology because I took it in college. Basically what they're doing is using the human psychology, the general human psychology, because anybody will call the cops when they're assaulted, and they're also go to Google and type in how gang stalkers will literally create psychological profiles of a target, because in order for them to literally develop the best terror scheme for the target in reference to mental harassment, and even like if it's a woman who's a devout Christian and doesn't sleep around, they'll rape the shit out of her. Okay, it's all about trauma, victimization, powerlessness, hopelessness, everything. And we're going to see, I got to move from here because the UCSD police came here and gave me a ticket to move. We're going to see if I ever get raped or anything in jail, on any psychiatric floor, or any hiking area. God help them. God help them. Now, the point being is this, is that in organized stalking and gang stalking, these little filthy rats who are in the system and are using the system for their crimes, do you honestly think then that they don't know how the system operates? Do you honestly think that these little filthy red-ass whores that are in the system, including the cops that are involved in this shit, do you really honestly think that they do not know what would motivate a person to call the police? Because again, they need those police reports to take the syndicated probate control. Okay? And in closing, let me just tell you something. The other day, the other day I went to the prosecutor's office in reference to the office that's supposed to be taking care of the case pertaining to the ticket I got from two UCSD campus police officers coming here to evict me from my own Aiken area, okay, 3 miles off campus, when I've been gang stalked all over their skanky ass campus. The point being is this. So I went down to the prosecutor's office. Let me light this. You're gonna love this one. Hang on. So I went down to the prosecutor's office a few days ago. Sorry, since I'm so video shy. Anyways, I went down to the prosecutor's office 3 days ago, about 3-4 days ago. Hang on. Now I got the giggles. Anyways, alright, so the reason why I'm laughing is because I'm in psychological shock pertaining to what I'm dealing with, and I think the brain sometimes just creates humor, I think it's the brain's way of dealing with, the shock and trauma of what I'm going through. So let me just get back to the seriousness of what I was going to say. 4 days ago, I went down to the prosecutor's office at the Civic Center, right behind the San Diego City Hall, to see if I could get the name of the little skank who's going to try and prosecute me. And I guarantee you, let's see if they try and say that they got to commit me before the trial that I'm going to ask for. That way, they can try and claim that they got that I got a mental illness, and therefore that I more than likely would not be found eligible for a trial. They'll fucking try anything, make no mistake about it. Go to Google and type in corrupt county mental health and or psychiatrist and gang stalking. Just do it. Alright, now let me get back to what I was saying. As I was down there trying to get the name of the little skink that's going to prosecute me, and I already know he's a filthy skink because they're all criminals down there. Okay? The point being is this. Guess who was standing, and there was at least, I'd say, 20 people hanging out in groups with massive amounts of property in their possession, right next to them. All of them homeless. Right in front of the very door of the office that this little skank's gonna fucking prosecute me from, pertaining to an illegal lodging ticket. Now, and I even talked to a security guard that's a security guard for that parking lot. It's like a little plaza. I don't know. It's not a parking lot. It's like it's a big area that's in front of the Civic Center Plaza where the skanks worked at, the prosecutor. All these homeless people are congregating out there, and every time I've been there, because I've literally attended press conferences, okay, and I've literally been seen on the news, okay, because I'm literally standing right behind the people that are giving the press conference. So I've been down there at least 15 times. Every time I went down there, massive, at least 30-40 people hanging out right outside the friggin' building, literally 5 feet from the building, with all their belongings right next to them. I'm talking about if you went there, you'd literally believe it was a homeless encampment. Okay, so why aren't these people being given tickets? Literally right outside the door of their building where the prosecutor works that's going to prosecute me, okay, right outside the door is at least 30 different groups of people, all of them using that area to just hang out all day long as a result of them being homeless. So why are they allowed to be there but I can't be here? Do you understand? I'm in San Diego, California. I literally got to go because I got a long day today. So this is being put in front of my tent, and if anybody comes down here and removes my property or gives me a ticket or arrests me before I'm able to move from here, which it should be done by no later than November 20th, okay? Because now I'm dealing with a supposed Social Security disability review. I'm dealing with a supposed lost money order that Fed Loan Servicing Center is saying they didn't get. Post office and gang stalking, ladies and gentlemen. Or is it? At least in this situation, or is it? Alright, I gotta go. Today's date is November 3rd, 2014, and my name is Leslie Williams. And the reason why I act goofy in my videos is because I know that my videos might mentally bring you down in reference to how, see, because good, decent people, they're going to be a little bit sad when they see this video. They're going to say, damn, this is really messed up. This is happening to her. I don't want you to be sad. I want you to be glad. And that's why sometimes in my videos, I'll act a little goofy intentionally in order to bring you right back up, baby cakes, because I don't want you to be sad. Don't feel sorry for me. What I do in order to be able to inform, to expose the truth, because there's targets out there that don't even have money to eat, can't afford a camera, can't afford a tape recorder to catch what's happening to them. So I do what I do for them by showing you what's happening to me. Got it? gotta get. I'm in San Diego, California. Let's see if anything happens along any of my routes today, including here, pertaining to every bit stitch of property I got. Because this tent's not the only thing I got here. I got stuff hidden close by out of sight. I'm going to UCSD today in their little skanky whore-ass campus. Let's see if anything happens to me there, and let's see if anything happens to me at Ross Grocery Store or any other place I go to today. I'm being gang-stalked in La Jolla. And my name is Leslie Williams. Gotta get. Have a good day. See you later.